This team moves the ball. Brown's a huge offensive tackle. 3 rookies in the starting offense. Pete and Sanders in the backfield. One of the wide receivers. They start 4 wide receivers. The Steeler defense was tremendous against the Vikings, holding Minnesota to a total of 250 yards. 5 sacks of Viking quarterbacks. Gerald Williams, a rookie, had 2 sacks last week against the Vikings. In the nickel defense, you see the new people that come in. Delton Hall, Larry Griffin, and pass rusher Aaron Jones will be in for the Steelers. Pittsburgh really, I don't think, is quite certain about what defense they're going to stay with most of the time. They want to see what Sanders does against their base defense.
Well, you notice they still have their linebackers in, even with this run and shoot offense, which you would think would be a disadvantage. But I think it's because of Barry Sanders that they want to keep those linebackers in there as much as possible.
Rodney Peete on 3rd down and 8 stands in. They give him some time. A throw and a drop at the 31-yard line. 13-yard line of the Steelers. Barry Sanders gets his first call, and Tim Johnson, a rising star at defensive end for Pittsburgh, is waiting for him.
Here's just a little handoff to Barry Sanders. Man, that play was defense perfectly.
First run of the day for Barry Sanders. Here's the second. He weaves his way into the secondary and is knocked down at about the 13-yard line.
Barry Sanders is sure enough for real.
That everybody in the league, from Mike Ditka to everybody that's played against him, they rave about him. Well, he leads the league in per carry average, 6.5. Had over 350 yards total offense in the first 3 games. Here is Rodney Peete running out of time, but buying some more with the scramble, and Rodney Peete is finally swept under by Keith Willis. Back at the 23-yard line. I believe by the coaches is the key to playing one by the team. And here the Steelers go on 1st down to the run. Warren Williams carries, hit very hard. Shotgun on 3rd down and 6. Out pattern. Beautifully done as Lewis Lips comes back at the ball to the 46-yard line. It's a 1st down for the Pittsburgh Steelers. Lions lead at 3-0. 8 minutes to play in the 1st quarter. Williams breaks it. He's had his problems starting for Worley. A drop for a 1st down earlier. And he hasn't gotten much on the rush, but that time Warren Williams, a 205-pound runner out of Miami of Florida. Lions with a 1st and 10 at their 32. Steelers are really keying in on Barry Sanders, who's yet to break the big run. This guy last year at Oklahoma State rushed for over 2,600 yards in a single season and scored 38 touchdowns.
It's very obvious that they're so much aware of Barry Sanders in an offense.
Right-hand side of the Steeler line. He had 2 sacks last week. Here's a throw. Woo, it's overthrown. Robert Clark was open, and Steeler Delton Hall couldn't make the play on the ball. Beneficiary of the catches his players should be making. Goes to the run, to the reverse, and here's Lewis Lips as Brister leads the blocking. Lewis Lips is across the 40 and out to the 44-yard line. Down Steelers. Williams. Good blocks. And a good run by Warren Williams, who's ahead for a gain of 10 yards on a 1st down carry. The problem, they have only 1 sack in their first 3 games. Brister eludes it nicely now and takes it himself. Spielman comes in on him. Brister looks up waiting for a flag. He didn't get one. Clock running, 38 seconds to play 1st quarter. Knuckleball punt downfield. Lions lead the game 3-0, and the Steelers let it roll. And down the ball at the 10-yard line. Whitestone down to cover it, and he downs the ball. We got some guys starting up after the play. Lion fans like this, and here comes the markers in the air, and a couple of people are going to leave for the afternoon, I would think.
That brings a little bit of a roar to this crowd.
In hockey, they put you in a penalty box for 2 minutes.
Offsetting personal fouls, 1 on each team. Offset.
We were waiting for an announcement. Caston is on the sideline. I think he's done for the day. I think they both are.
There's a lot. Look at that roughing. That roughing. You know, some guys are all smart. Nobody's taking a helmet off.
And he's on the sideline. Peete throws on 1st down. He overshoots his little receiver, Stacy Mobley. On 1st and 10. Rod Pete throws again. And it's incomplete at the 11-yard line. He was again looking at Stacy Mobley on a quick out. Carnell Lake, the rookie strong safety from UCLA. Tim Johnson very quick enough to get back in time. No flag as Barry Sanders runs it up the middle for Detroit. Now a penalty marker comes in after the play.
Let me warn everybody watching this game.
Holding 10 yards, 1st down.
Don't anybody get up and leave the room while Barry Sanders is in that backfield. He hasn't done anything yet, but when he does it in a hurry.
Said he's never seen a play with the balance of Barry Sanders. Sanders tries to cut back again. This time.
I said fast like Walter Payton. He said faster.
Pretty good recommendation from a 7-time All-Pro, Charlie Sanders. Here's a throw, and the Steelers are unable to intercept again. Delton Hall again with a direct play on the ball. 3rd down and 19. It really is. It's a 3rd down offense as Rodney Pete steps in. They give him time. Lets it go long. He's got an open man. And it goes right through the arms of Robert Clark. Rodney Pete with a 60-yard throw. Laser accuracy, but Robert Clark gets a standing chorus of boos. What a throw.
Now, they talked about my man Rodney Pete's arms that he couldn't throw. This is one of the prettiest throws that I've seen in a long time, and it is perfect, right on the money. But I must say, I've played here in this building, and you can lose the ball in that ceiling.
In the first half, it's still 3-0 Detroit. Newsom gets it away, and it gets a tremendous roll down inside the 5-yard line. Penalty marker down also. Back of the line of scrimmage.
Mel Gray having a tough time trying to field that ball.
What happens a lot of those, as you know, Ahmad, when the snap is bobbled, the coverage men get downfield before it's kicked. And they're bringing it back now. There's probably an illegal man downfield.
Frank Gans is special teams coach there on the sideline.
Penalty, 4th down.
Dropped it, would have gone for 6. Here's a throw downfield. Too much on that, though, and good coverage by Dwayne Woodruff as again they go to the out pattern. Delton Hall was covering or attempting to. He's in for injured Rod Woodson, who's not played today. Troubled by a back spasm. Now Pete is swept under at the 23-yard line. Keith Willis coming hard, and both sides start up after the ball again. He knows they're weak when Woodson is out. As to the run they go, and Sanders is knocked down at the 1. That's his 5th carry. He's gained only 2 yards. The Steelers say they've got the ball, and they do. So the Steeler D gives up a big play. Then the Steeler D takes the ball back. Hardy Nickerson being congratulated. We'll see who gets off the bottom of the pile with the ball.
Talking about defenses that bend and don't break. Here he sees that Pittsburgh Steelers do it. Just gets a ball. Gets a hand on that ball and knocks it down. Watch Rodney Pete hands the ball off to Sanders. Sanders trying to get a little bit of extra yardage.
Tim Johnson and Hardy Nickerson knocked it free and looked like Hardy Nickerson. A linebacker from California got it. First half. Brister out pattern. Makes the connection to Lewis, Lips to the 9. Maximum protection. 2 backs held in to block. Brister looks, he throws, he makes the connection to Derek Hill. It's a 1st down for the Steelers out to the 23-yard line.
Michael Kofer just leveled Bubby Brister just the moment he let that ball go. And I mean, he's taking a beating. Just as soon as he let the ball go. Watch Brister. He's looking on the right side. Number 55, Michael Kofer's blocked. He gets up and just pounds him in the ground. You can't have a quarterback taking hits like that all day, and Brister has taken too many of those already today.
And Brister was blasting the referee. The #1 assignment of a National Football League referee, they don't talk about it, but the #1 assignment isn't to oversee the game. That's second. The #1 assignment of a National Football League referee is to protect the quarterback. 2nd and 15 now for Bubby Brister and the Steelers. Pump fake. Good throw. Great catch. Absolute excellence by the Pittsburgh Steelers as Brister froze the defenders with the pump fake, and then Lewis Lips. What a player.
Don, that is the toughest catch a receiver will ever have to make, because you feel that little quiet zone. You get by the first catch. It's a zone. The first First cornerback lets you go by. Now, when you get in that zone, you got to set down. The quarterback leads him a little bit. Now, you know you're going to get hit. The trick is, if you're going to get hit, you might as well catch the ball, but very few people can do it like Lewis Lips.
That is really phenomenal.
Completions.
Looking for a 9th. Eluding the rush. Lets it go long. He's got Lewis Lips in the end zone, and Lips goes up and makes the play. One of the greatest catches I've seen in all the years I've broadcast the NFL. A 48-yard touchdown pass play. One of the most extraordinary plays by a receiver I've seen. Throw was right there, but Lips had to work absolute mastery between two defenders to come up with it.
His adjustment on that ball was just beautiful. He was covered. But it's just like a center fielder that knows how to play the ball. Here you see Bubby Brister finding time, letting Lewis Lips run deep. Now he throws it out there. Now the ball, watch Lewis Lips. He's covered right here. His last 3 steps, he goes right to the ball. Right to the ball.
And gets his feet in.
Gets his feet in also. He told me yesterday, he said, you know, I've been doing too much blocking. They got to throw me the ball a lot more.
Steelers lead 7-3. Pete dumps it off, and Tony Page drops the ball, looking to run before he had it. It'll be 2nd down and 10.
That Rodney Pete is wearing. He's got a stronger leg than I do. I can barely hold it.
Rodney Pete with a throw and a strike. Richard Johnson loses the ball. This is a live ball if Delton Hall can find the handle. David Little comes running out to stop a potential fight between Tim Johnson and...
Here's a great throw by Pete. Johnson's got the ball right here. Carnell Lake reaches over and strips the ball from him. Delton Hall trying to get the handle on it and finally gets it just before he's knocked out of bounds.
He did finally get it. He was looking to go the distance, and if he got it on the first tap, he would have been gone. Now the Steelers set up in a quick strike offense. 2 wide receivers stacked to the lower right of your screen. Lips to the right as Derek Hill goes in motion. Fake the handoff, and here's Brister with a deep drop. Downfield throw. Open man is Derek Hill. Using the sideline nicely. He's out of bounds inside the 25-yard line.
He's wide open in that little spot in between the zone. When you're playing a zone, there are big gaping areas.
Bubby Brister on the run. There he goes. He has an open track. Heading for the sideline. Lions going for him, and Brister bails out. 2nd down and 5 for Pittsburgh. Steelers lead the game 7-3. On an extraordinary touchdown reception by Lewis Lips. They go to the draw, and Merrill Hodge drives it up the middle, looking to catch the Lions in a wide rush. Brister running around changing the play. They get the snap up just in time as Brister rolls out. Heads for the end zone and steps out of bounds at about the 2-yard line, stopping the clock with 45 seconds to play in the half.
You know, that was one of the smartest plays I've ever seen. Brister had a chance, maybe if he'd have turned left to try to get into that end zone, but there was nothing but blue shirts in front of him. Watch him roll out here to the right. Now, once he starts going towards that end zone, watch what he sees in front of him. 1... Well, there's some more. 2, 3. To the left of him is nothing but blue.
Anderson, who's ready to kick, is tied for the most accurate NFL all-time with Morton Anderson of New Orleans. And he swings into that one and extends the Steelers' lead to 10-3 with 23 seconds to play in the half. Jeffrey won 4 Super Bowls. Was his first year, 69, when the team was 1-13, because despite it, Barry Sanders, after having 3 sensational days, he showed up on Friday before the first regular season game after a long holdout. Gained 70 yards on 9 carries against Phoenix. Had 126 last week against the Bears. Pete freezes everybody with a fake. Letting it go long. The defense converges. It's up for grabs, and it's incomplete at the 3-yard line. Yep, knocks it down. Don't let them get it. Now 3rd down and 3 comes up. Pete gets time, makes a throw, and here's a good defensive play by rookie Carnell Lake. Rodney Pete's seen him for the last 4 years playing for UCLA. One of the Steelers, Mike Hinnett on the right side, but he just blocks as they try it on 3rd down. And if they got it, it'll be just by the ball.
And speaking of running, Barry Sanders has not done much running today. He's got that bad hip pointer, and Wayne Fonts told us that if it starts to bother him, he'd get him out of there right away, and he has replaced him with total package Tony Page.
Third down and 8 coming up for the Detroit Lions, and the throw is right to a defensive back. Larry Griffin takes the ball for Pittsburgh back to the 40-yard line of the Lions.
This is a good decision by Rodney Peete to try to throw the ball to Stanley. He's just got to bring the ball down a little bit. Sometimes the ball gets away from you a little bit, and anytime you overthrow somebody underneath, it usually ends up like this, in an interception.
As Derek Hill sprints in motion, and Brister looks to throw. Gets his man, Rodney Carter, and he's down to the 29-yard line of the Lions. 6:03 to go, third quarter. Here's a throw and a catch. Rodney Carter again, breaking down inside the 15-yard line and down to the 13. Third down and 5 comes up now as Brister aligns in the shotgun. Throw, catch by Hill, and he's ruled down at the 2-yard line. Steelers use extra linemen rather than tight ends to block. Bang, over the top and into the end zone goes Rodney Carter, a third-year runner from Purdue, who stands out as a receiver. Doesn't get called on down close very often, but he appreciates it when he does, and he takes it in, and the Steelers extend their lead to 16-3. Trouble for Wayne Fonson, Woody Wittenhofer.
Here you watch it play again. This is just how much do you want it? Go in there and hit somebody. Running back picks a hole, fires it in. Signals a touchdown on the ground, too. Last sentence. Yeah.
That takes some doing against the Steeler defense. It's really teeing off now. This time Galliano gets time, runs out of it, and they get him at the 20. He laterals, and they get the man who got the ball. Lomas Brown, an offensive tackle.
Lomas Brown probably wondering, what in the world am I doing with this football? Here Galliano has some time to throw the ball. He can't find anybody open. He's looking. Now he takes off, and now here comes Lomas Brown. Here, you take it. Lomas saying, me take it. He might have, that may be the first time he's ever touched a football in his career.
I got it, you take it.
That's right. I guarantee it's the last time he'll touch it.
One of the Steelers' top players. Here's Galliano throwing over the middle. Wrong side of Robert Clark. And Galliano hears the boos.
Robert Clark was wide open. You just can't afford.
1:02 to play. Third quarter, Steelers with the ball. First down and 10. To the run they go. Straight ahead was Warren Williams, a running back from Miami of Florida. And to the third quarter with the Steelers in the lead, 17-3. Newsom punts. Big rush by the Lions, and they foul Newsom. They didn't block the ball. They did hit Newsom. Lions with a last-ditch effort. They had to make it. So the Steelers will get a first down and keep the ball. State might have got the kicker.
Roughing the kicker. That's a 15-yard penalty, and that's a first down.
You see Newsom, he gets his ball away. His foot's still up now. It's a very dangerous play for a kicker. He's in a position where he can really get hurt like this. Here he gets straightened out. He's got the ball off. Oh, boy. That hurt me a little bit.
Lions had only 1 sack in the previous 3 games this year. 6 today. But the Steelers are in command as Derek Hill goes down at the 40 on a 2nd and 10 play. He's ahead for a gain of 6. That is known as the disclaimer. Interception by Dwayne Woodruff. Galliano locks one up, and Dwayne Woodruff pulls it down. And the Steelers will have the ball at the 36-yard line of the Lions. Dan Edwards of the Steelers told me that yesterday. He said, yeah, he's amphibious. I said, what? Running hard is Warren Williams, who's inside the 35-yard line on a first down carry for a gain of about 5. Denver, I'll tell you one thing. I'd buy a ticket to see the Steelers play at Cleveland the next time. Weegee Thompson makes a play inside the 23-yard line. The Steelers go home to Three River Stadium to play Cincinnati, a team that destroyed them 41-10 in week 2. First down, they have it inside the 25-yard line. Warren Williams breaks it down to the 18-yard line. The Steelers, and the Steelers are heading that way now. Back to the run. Merrill Hodge breaks it down to the 10-yard line. First down, Pittsburgh.
Italian Army.
They all had an Army contingent. Gorillas. Mike Malarkey makes the reception inside the 5-yard line. And it'll be second down and goal from there. The Vikings and today beating Detroit. Pittsburgh looking to extend the lead. Running with the ball, trying to get close. It's Ray Wallace, and he's in. Now the Lion fans have taken to cheering for the Steelers. Whole place is cheering for Pittsburgh's score as the Lions remain winless and are closer to defeat number 4 of this season. Jerry Olsowski from Pitt Panther. What did they have a game last night? Here is Galliano throwing down deep, going for the ball. And it's incomplete at the 24-yard line. Zone. First down and goal. Galliano into the end zone, but he throws to the wrong side of Stacy Mobley, who's running a post pattern from the 10-yard line. Galliano gets time. He throws. He's got a man, and the ball is dropped. Open receiver who felt the footsteps, and Mel Gray got stuck hard anyway by Greg Lloyd.
You see Galliano, he puts that ball right on him. This is a tough spot in here. You got to catch that ball and try to protect yourself at the same time. He misses the ball and keeps going and takes a nice rock right in the head.
Pittsburgh in the lead, 23-3. Galliano throws, and it's knocked down by Carnell Lake. And he'd still be running were he able to intercept. Fourth down and goal for the Lions from the 10-yard line of the Steelers. Incomplete. Pittsburgh takes over the football. Intended for Tony Page. And again, the boos cascade down from what remains of this Lion following.
Tony Page a little upset that Galliano didn't put that ball on him with a little bit more steam.
21 completions and 26 throws, 267 yards, 1 touchdown and no interceptions. Galliano on 2nd and 10. Into the end zone. Thomas Everett has his hands on the ball, breaks up the play intended for Stacy Mobley.
Getting married gives you weak knees.
Galliano, Steeler rush will give him to you too as they get Galliano back at the 18-yard line.